Thank you very much, Dr. Monroe, for your talk. Abrimos entonces ahora para preguntas para los tres presentadores que tuvimos del proyecto de malaria. So if the speakers want to come up to the podium, we can have questions for all three of you. Hay dos micrófonos. Adelante, puede utilizar el micrófono atrás.
¿Se habla en español o en inglés?
Si quieren ¿cómo que? En español está. Ah. Bueno, yo le puedo traducir la pregunta.
Soy más fluido en español. Bueno, mire, yo quisiera hacer un puntico muy humilde, llamémoslo así, a los conferencistas, en el sentido de qué tanto están pensando ellos en el proceso de la evolución natural cuando trabajan, digamos, con este tipo de drogas, porque como dijo el doctor Aldana, digamos, hablando de enfermedades, las enfermedades en los seres humanos son muy complejas y el enfoque en muchos lados ha sido únicamente como ha sucedido con los famosos antibióticos, que los antibióticos en un momento dado creímos que íbamos a acabar con las bacterias y lo que hay que enseñarle a los estudiantes es a vivir con las bacterias, no a acabarlas, porque las bacterias están hace 4.500 millones de años y nosotros tenemos escasamente unos 200.000 años de estar en la Tierra. De manera que lo mismo digo yo, digamos, de cualquier proceso, la evolución natural siempre tiene que tenerse en cuenta donde quiera que se esté investigando este tipo de cosas. Y dentro de la evolución, pues hay que mirar los ciclos de todo y mirarnos nosotros, digamos, yo diría, con un poco de humildad. Esta es la tragedia, por ejemplo, que me parece a mí, cambiando el tema, no les estoy diciendo la malaria en absoluto, pero cambiando el tema, por ejemplo, con los antibióticos. Los antibióticos, hace 30, 40 años le enseñaron a los médicos a recetar a la loca antibióticos y hoy las unidades de cuidado intensivo todas tienen resistencias bacterianas que no dan más. Y en todas partes, digamos, es un problema casi más grave que el que había antes. De manera que es como una sugerencia y esto sí, ¿qué tanto miran ustedes? Esa es mi pregunta, a la evolución natural, donde quiera que están trabajando en este tipo de cosas.
The question is, are we considering when we use these new processes to make drugs, what the impact will be for the future, right? Because if you look at antibiotics and what we've done with antibiotics, we use them a lot, and now many people have resistance, and they're not effective any longer. So we thought about this in the context of the new drugs that we're developing using new processes. And the answer is yes, we have. Do we have answers? Not necessarily. And will we know what happens? Not necessarily. I'm not saying that's a good place to be or not, but I will say that I'm a firm believer in letting people get access to bacteria. Seriously, there's terrifying stories of children that have died because their parents have kept them too clean. So let your kids play in the mud. It's a good thing. With regards to the new drugs, I'd open this up to the floor because you guys can probably answer even better than I can. So anyone, feel free to respond to that. It's a good question.
There is another one here.
Thank you. I would like to know if you have an estimate of how much money has it been invested in the whole process from the beginning until now. Thank you.
Good question. I think
Just introduce the...
It's somebody asked me here to say my name. My name is Carlos Gonzalez. I'm a medical doctor and PhD. Thank you.
So I can only speak for the project only. The first grant from the Gates Foundation was about $42 million, and then the second grant was about $10 million. So it's about $50 million to be invested in this project. So that is just the Gates Foundation investment. Obviously, Sanofi has already invested about 10 million euro into the facility and added donated in-kind services to this project.
I have a couple of questions, but maybe a couple of comments first. So I congratulate the team because it only takes $1 billion to bring a drug to market. And I think the Artemisina combination therapy is one way of addressing trying to counter the effects of developing resistance. So I have two questions, one to Kay, one to Stephen. So one question is, what are you thinking about of how to exert some systematic control over not only the production but the marketing of Artemisina? Because there's the plant-derived materials, which is going to be grown in China and elsewhere, plus the semi-synthetic version, and so the management of that seems like a challenge. Maybe you could speak to that. And then the question I'd like to ask Stephen, having gone through this process, if you were going to develop another semi-synthetic heterologous product, what would you do differently?
So, the basis of the question is, it's a learning process. You have the kind of iterative cycle. What can we do better? And we're actually in that phase. Amyris has other products making a molecule called farnesene, which we're converting into diesel fuel. We've actually learned a lot since artemisinin. We applied to farnesene. Artemisinin was really old school molecular biology. We did not use high throughput techniques. We used shake flasks. One iteration we've done is we moved a lot towards robotics to high throughput assays. We routinely screen 60,000 strains a week at Amyris for improved farnesene production. We could do on a good week maybe 20 strains a week for malaria drugs. So really innovative technologies. You're taking advantage of those innovative technologies to really speed up the process. We went from a droplet of farnesene to 100,000 liter scale in less than 5 years. So that's one thing that we could do much better on artemisinin. The other thing I think that the big lesson that we learned was that we kind of got isolated. At Amyris, we had all these expertise. We had animal chemistry, chemists, biology, and we all had our great ideas. And we were all working really hard on the ideas we had in-house. But it was that outreach to that Canadian lab, to Pat Cavello, who had those last couple of genes. It was really, we had the collaboration with Berkeley, but that had kind of gone away. We kind of had lost our roots. Coming back to that academic collaboration was really what the breakthrough was. And going forward, we don't want to lose that. We want to continue to be collaborative and reach out to all kinds of either academic or other industrial institutions to get the basis of that knowledge and apply it properly.
So I'd like to address the second question. It's a hard question, Ken. It's simple and then it's also complex. We made there is a short-term and the long-term goals. The short-term goal is to stabilize the price of artemisinin, number one. Number two is that the artemisinin will support the WHO goal of no monotherapy, because that would be disaster. So it's simple because there are not many qualified by manufacturer of artemisinin now. It's about 8%. So 8 of them would constitute about what I would say 60-70% of the market. So we talk to them, and we have a limited field. The complicating factor is that there are other buyers out there, and how do you control that? We can control our end, the other end, yeah, it's not easy. The long-term goal, of course, is to make the drug as affordable as possible. Technology will evolve. We will gain experience. The cost of making artemisinin will go down. So we will go down. And at the end, I think there will be a balance on one hand, there is a plant materials field where people do for profit. And if the price goes down to a certain level, yeah, they may decide to go corn, you know. So that's a long picture, but we can control that.
Thank you. My name is Patricia del Portillo from Corporación Corpogen. First of all, thank you very much for this beautiful and complete overview of the process of the Artemisina project. And I would like to know why Sanofi Pasteur, which is a profit company, was interested to join the project. What they doing for?
I think Sanofi Pasteur is the vaccine arm of Sanofi. So this is Sanofi Avantis. This is the pharmaceutical arm of Sanofi, who is in part of that. I think each, like Kay said, each of the pharmaceutical company now become very conscious of their social responsibility. I think they all want to have a face that is, working toward the goods of the humanity. They put some investment in delivering drugs. Novartis has one. Sanofi has a program for access to medicine, which distribute drugs, malaria drugs, to the patient at what they call no cost, no profit, no loss basis. So this is part of that. I think they have problems with supplying artemisinin, and this is also that's a benefit they derive from the project also.
I wanted to ask about the no loss, no profit arrangement, because who guarantees the no loss? I mean, it's easy enough to say, I won't take a profit, but who comes up with the difference if you do have a loss?
I think the anti-malaria supply is complicated. When we talk about forecast of what is needed, it's not the amount of drug that we needed to treat the patient many times. It is how much the funding from government that put up to buy the drug. So many times the need is from the funding available to buy the drug. So I think the no loss, no profit also come from that aspect, because they work and they have a evidence of their the cost, and they work with this global funding in negotiating some kind of price that they sell en masse to these organizations. Like Global Fund has a $1 billion fund to buy ACT and distribute it to Africa. We call AMFM. Affordable medicine for malaria. So they raise a fund and they give it to government, and those government would use it to order the drug.
So we have time for just two last questions that were before.
Hi, I'm Emily Adams from the Royal Tropical Institute in the Netherlands. I wanted to ask, and it comes back to the first question, is there any way One World Health can ensure that these drugs reach only positive patients, i.e. can you have a system developed with diagnostics? Because at the moment it seems they work quite separately with quite a different distribution.
I think, because of our scope, our project is very focused on developing a manufacturing method from artemisinin. Like Kay introduced, the military has a much bigger agenda, which is called the they have to integrate everything from diagnostic to preventions of being infected by mosquitoes, bed nets. They have program to develop insecticides, and so this one is just one part of that huge program that they have.
So, my name is John Aitchison from Seattle Biomed and Institute for Systems Biology. My question is, when it comes to something like Artemisina, it's clearly a noble cause, and I can clearly understand why you want to generate partnerships. And this group from Saskatchewan, would love to give you these genes. But what happens when you move into biofuels and the commercial market is much greater? And so how do you deal with intellectual property and partnerships in that respect?
That is a much tougher question than the earlier one. So we do have partnerships. A lot of those partnerships, just like we talked about with the guy at our joint ventures. For instance, we have a joint venture with Total Gas and Oil to help manufacture our biofuels. It's very much the same situation where, we got the science, we're innovative around the science, we know we can love that platform technology, but when you actually want to produce at scale, you want to produce at 100,000, 200,000 scale, make an impact in the oil market to replace petroleum products. Again, it's all about the partnerships, and those partnerships are very carefully crafted so we have that expertise and have access to that infrastructure. So again, we look at several different partners. Total is the best fit for us. That's how we're looking at partnerships for biofuels, putting it out there. Our other molecules we're interested in doing the same kind of thing. One of our first products is renewable squalene. It's normally sourced from shark livers, not a very sustainable process. We can make it by taking a molecule, the farnesene molecule, doing some chemistry and making a completely renewable source of this product. And because of that, we partnered with the right companies to put it in this case, cosmetics. So it's all about those proper partnerships.
Sorry, I think your question is a lot about the IP, because the IP is handled very differently in these partnerships. People are giving things up, and we're making sure that it's available to use the way we need to use it. It's very different when you're a commercial enterprise. The lawyers at Amyris are pretty hardcore, and their IP is pretty ironclad tight. They're not sharing IP. They're going to bring that to the table and utilize it in a way that makes sense, that the partner can then commercialize and market. So IP is highly protected in that environment. So yeah, they're bulldogs.
La última pregunta para seguir adelante.
Manuel Franco from Universidad Javeriana. I was very happy to hear that finally in this very practical approach, academia and basic science do play a role. But I was wondering, this drug actually started from traditional knowledge, and I didn't hear anything about that. I think it's very important. You could have lots of ways to improve the processes by exploiting this traditional knowledge. Has traditional knowledge been taken into account in these processes?
I mean, that's how Artemisina came into being, right? This was a traditional Chinese herbal therapy. There's a lot of traditional therapies that are out there that have been capitalized on to use for modern drugs. There was a company, do you remember the company a while ago that developed drugs out of the rainforest? Codon? No, it wasn't Codon. It was someone else, the one run by a female CEO. They went into the rainforest knowing that there were traditional medications available there and extracting them chemically to see if they could actually produce drugs. And they did produce some drugs. And their Taxol, again, another plant-based drug. You're right. We should probably not forget our roots and highlight more that that's actually where the drug came from, because it isn't completely synthesized in the lab. It came from somewhere. So it's a good point.
Yeah. So also to speak to your point, these kind of traditional sources, this is what we do for our products. We find products that they're available naturally, but not in any kind of abundance. Again, we've used Artemisina, but we use our diesel molecule, farnesene, as an example. It naturally occurs in apple peels. about $2,000 a kilogram, and we're going to make it for dollars a kilogram kind of thing. So again, we went out and found the natural source of that gene. We do a lot of that looking for natural sources. Our jet molecules are natural compounds also. We take those traditional approaches, look at what is out there. The lore is actually kind of one of our founders, Neil Renninger, said, okay, if you could reinvent diesel, what would the perfect diesel molecule look like? It's about 15 carbons, have about this energy content. So what in nature looks like that? And they kind of reverse engineered. They said, hey, farnesene looks like the right kind of molecule, and it does. It actually has fantastic diesel properties, great cetane, great energy properties. So we do take that into account when we're identifying what the things we're going to go after are.
Well, thank you very much to the speakers for a very provocative project. Bueno,